Okay, well, I got to a decent place, so I might as well take notes. I had 3 buckets, which I'll go in the other room and look at later. They're drying, but those were the buckets that filled the cider, and I left them here. Over some readings, I realized something I knew. I relearned how important it is to keep oxygen out. This was from 2022, and I think it's vinegar. I've been tasting it. This tastes fairly vinegary, and I think they in the book they said that these little strands coalesce, and then you get the vinegar mother. And I think I've removed the vinegar mother from something before. Of course, vinegar isn't poisonous. It's delicious. It's not a problem. When I write my own little book, I think the first section will be dangers, because there really is no danger as far as I could tell. I'll verify this, but take, for example, this one. Now I'm labeling, of course, anything. I didn't label shit last year. But I don't know if it's visible, but yeah, there's the bubbles coming through. This was backyard. I wrote backyard because we have 2 trees backyard. It's hard to say what's what. This is backyard one. These fallen ones, this is just all the fallen apples I found. I can't believe we had fallen apples right to here. So maybe there's fallen plus something. There's no activity here anymore. So I wonder, it's been a long time. So it's been a months maybe. I've been collecting fallen apples and pressing them and adding them to a bucket that was here. So we'll see how that goes. This started off in one of the buckets, which is just one of these buckets. It's one of these, perfectly clean. One thing I've kind of skipped this year is the deep sanitizing. I mean, I clean everything, but I'm not using Star San or wherever it is. You know, I'm not boiling or bleaching or anything. And we'll see how that goes. But so that's backyard. This one here is also, and this is one of the reasons I had scooped all this up. When this would build up, I would scoop it up. And this one's the Ashmead's kernel. But I don't think it's an issue because this, you can see up here, it made it all the way up to here and then it reduced. So once this primary fermentation, which I think is what everybody calls it in the books, stops, then I'm going to fill it up to here and maybe do a secondary, or maybe this is the end of primary when it's no longer crazy like this. This, of course, hasn't even started bubbling yet. This was just a few days ago. I'm letting this vinegar sit, by the way. We'll see if it'll form a vinegar. So this is backyard, 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 backyard. A lot of trees, a lot of this is backyard. And that's basically that. I did learn that once we're done with the carboy, once it's done, it's good to get it out because we're going to need this next year. So I may even get 1 5-gallon carboy. This is like, this is too heavy to lift, easily with one hand. So I can't imagine a 5-gallon carboy seems too heavy to deal with. But these are fermenting good. These are fermenting, it looks like good. And then I've just been doing it in here. And I think instead of doing it in that room until I have the time to organize it, I can do it here. And then we have a sink. And then here. And then I put stuff to dry here. So these are the buckets. That bucket there even has gradient markers on it. And then we have the, the different siphons and whatnot. That said, I read in the book, he just uses his mouth, which is way easier. So I'm going to start doing that instead. You can't do that, I don't think, to fill with bottles, with this bottle filler thing, where you put this at the end and then push down here. Then you need the small siphon, but I like the not using the siphon for the big stuff. It's just easier. That said, there is a little clippy guy, which is in here, I don't think, that holds, the clip fits that siphon, clips around that siphon. It's a little big for this, so I may make something to hold this because it's nice to have that held in the thing. Anyway, that's where I'm at now, and hopefully this year is a little smoother.